Hey guys, I'm Abraham. Today I'm gonna give you 3 simple tips on how to make at least $1,000 per week driving with Lyft or Uber. Okay, so before I start, I wanna tell you a little bit about myself. I've been doing this for about 2 years already. I have a 3-month-old baby, which might be able to hear him in the background. I'm taking care of him, so I've been trying to find a way to make passive income money. But in order to do that, I have to also have some money saved up. This is the way I'm doing it. Hopefully you guys are in the same situation, or if you don't really wanna do a video, like a YouTube channel like I am, you can also just drive for Lyft and make that money, save that money, and maybe invest it in a business. Or if you just want to do that for the rest of your life, driving is always going to make you money some way or another. There's tons of jobs that involve driving. It might be a good experience for you guys to acquire. I started doing Lyft as a way to supplement my income while I was looking for a job. You might be in the same situation where maybe you lost your job, thinking about getting a new job. Every time you start a new job, you always have to first wait for about 2 weeks to a month for your first paycheck, and your first paycheck is always a small paycheck. Well, if you do Lyft right away, you can start making money as soon as the same day. As soon as you get approved, which by the way, if you are thinking about doing Lyft for the first time, I'm gonna leave a link on my code so you can use it. That way you can get a bonus and I can get a bonus. I'm also gonna place it right here on the screen. If you don't wanna do it, if you don't wanna use it, completely fine. You can also just sign up with Lyft. I'm not gonna get my feelings hurt, but that is a way to maximize your earnings, especially when you're starting and give you that boost, who gives you a bonus to start a new job? Not a lot of jobs, right? Okay, well, moving on. Tip number 1. It's very important to know where you're gonna be driving. This is for people who are already driving, and you might be asking yourself, how can you make $1,000? You might have to work all week to do that. Well, not necessarily. First you have to see the location where you're driving. As an example, I drive in Fresno, and I'm not gonna say that I don't make enough money in Fresno, because I do. I can easily make $100 per day working 8 hours, which I think is still better than minimum wage, but to me was not enough. So what I did is I started driving in San Francisco. However, I didn't know this tip, and somebody told me about it. If you say you belong to a market like Fresno, you're gonna get the bonus for that city. And sometimes those bonuses are not a lot, just because that city is not in high demand. So what you can do is you can call Lyft. That's what I did. I called Lyft and told them that I was going to be driving in San Francisco from now on. So the following week, my location was set to San Francisco, and I had a bonus already, which I had to drive a certain amount of rides, and they will give me a bonus. Those bonuses, by the way, they start low. As they see that you're hitting those bonuses, they increase the bonus. And my bonus right now is, if I give 95 rides, I get an extra $117 on top of whatever I make while giving those 95 rides. After that, if I give an extra 10 rides, I get an extra $24, I believe. That's what my bonus is right now. Those might increase during certain times of the year, but I've never seen it go down unless I'm not hitting those bonuses. Okay, so that's tip number 1. Now on to tip number 2. Always keep your car clean. It's very important, because whenever a passenger comes in your car and sees your car is clean, it reflects your personality, the way you are, that you're responsible, and they appreciate that because they know that you care about them. The other thing that I do, and this is something that you don't have to do, but I strongly recommend it, I put water all around the car. So I bought this thing online, and I spent a little bit of money buying it, but it's totally worth it, because now what I do is I put water on each side and some amenities like candy, like hand sanitizer, like tissues, gum, things like that. Things that you might need when you're going out. That to me works out really good, because I noticed ever since I implemented that, and I saw, by the way, I saw that on a previous video, which that's why it's so important for you guys to look at this video. I never did when I first started driving. I regret it, because if I would have done that, I would have been making that much money from the get-go. In Fresno, I only make like $100. You can't make $1,000 in 1 week when you're making $100 per day. Even if you work all 7 days, that's only $700. Plus you have to deduct what you pay for gas. And in Fresno, you drive long distances to pick up the passenger. So that affects your earnings. In San Francisco, the distances where you pick up somebody else are shorter, just because there are more Lyft drivers. There's more demand. That's why it's really good if you drive to the next biggest city, like I told you guys on tip number 1. Find out where is the busiest city closest to you. Okay, Okay, on to tip number 3, número 3. For tip number 3, if you're not implemented tip number 2, it's okay. You can also increase your earnings by getting more tips in the way that make conversation with your passenger. Your passengers appreciate that, at least if you try. Sometimes they might not be in the mood of talking, which is you have to respect their space, but they give you certain clues. Things like if they're put on their headphones, maybe they give you short answers. If that's the case, all you do is just maybe ask them if they want to hear a certain type of music and put it on for them and just keep on driving. That's what I do. Even when you do that, they'll give you a tip because they acknowledge that you're respecting their space and they want to be left alone. So very important to follow those clues. See if it's someone who really enjoys talking, then give them a conversation. You have to just ask questions and listen to the passenger. Most of the times we like to talk. So it's very important to acknowledge that and always just ask the questions and let them talk. And if they ask you questions, just answer them back and you go back and forth. That's how you make a good conversation, okay? So those are the 3 tips that help me make $1,000 per week every single week. And right now I take care of my son full-time, Monday through Friday. My wife works Monday through Friday. So on the weekends, I go and drive over there. Right now it's something that we chose to do, my wife and I, because it's working out for us. This is something that's gonna help us in the long run. We have a plan on how to become financially independent, because I believe that's the dream for most people, right? Especially if you're in a relationship, you want your family to have everything that maybe you didn't have when you were younger. So that's what we're trying to do. She doesn't really have to go to her work, which I'm not gonna say that she hates. I'm sure she would rather be doing what I'm doing right now. It's just she's the one who has a good job right now. You know, sometimes you just gotta adjust in life. This is a good way to do it. If you've made it this far, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really want this to work, and I am going to be posting more stories, not just about driving with Lyft, but also about different ways to make money, because this channel is about that. My main source of income right now, it is Lyft, but it's in my plans to do other things. Hopefully you guys can subscribe to my channel and press the like button. Also, very important, if you guys want to be notified from future videos that I make, click on the little bell icon. That way YouTube can notify you every time I post a new video. And with that, I'll leave you guys. Hope you enjoyed it again, and see you next time.